Hey guys, the Hex and Razaak banners have arrived, so it is time to do some summons and to hopefully get something new. I was pretty lucky with Apsan. I'm praying that I am lucky again today, but you know, can't be too lucky, can't be too greedy. Fingers crossed though. Seen quite a few people pulling Zilla too. She is in this banner as well for some reason. Obviously she's a great hero, but people want the new stuff. Okay, I don't have a lot of summons as you can see. I've got like maybe 40 summons, so not great for me at the moment, but you know, I just need to hit it once. I just need bottled lightning one time. Okay, so we'll do this one times 10 and then maybe I'll do single pulls afterwards. Give me something to do. Okay, so yeah, what was that, 30 summons in now, and I have about 12 left perhaps, so let's go for some single pulls so I can drag it out a bit and get a feeling that I've done some summons. Yeah, okay. I know I can't complain because I've been quite lucky. I've got a bunch of the latest heroes coming out, but I really did want Razaak. Razaak really appeals to me. I know Hex seems to be probably maybe Hex is stronger, but Razaak seems more fun. I like, you know, the big cleave damage nuke. I just think Razaak would be a really cool character to have on your roster. And pairing him with a Maul on top would be kind of crazy, just for the raw burst damage you could put out with stacking both of them together. But I don't think it was meant to be. Okay, we've got another 7 summons from that, so that's cool. That could be all I need. It is a 2 times weekend as well as 10 times, so I haven't got the lowest amount of summons. I've done quite a few already. I think the odds, although they're shrinking rapidly, I think there is a chance. Alright, I'm down to my final few summons. Is there any hope for me? I'm getting a few rares, not a lot, but I'm getting a few, so I might be able to sneak out another couple summons at the end. Maybe just one. Couple more summons to do. I can get some more screefs, which is what my account really needs. I never upload the bad summoning sessions at least, so... Okay, I have a couple more summons at the end. I forgot I also have a legendary summoning crystal, so a tiny bit of chance yet remains. Let's exhaust that. Bogger, really not had a lot of luck. Okay, let's go. Is it legendary? I hit legendary. I did, yes. Oh, I did get the new hero. Wow, I didn't expect that. Damn. Thank you, game. I am a happy dude. I got Hex. Awesome. I will be playing with him and seeing what he's like. He does swagger, that's for sure. Oh, that was his passive, I guess they're showing off. Sorry, I looked at this yesterday. I didn't really say a lot about it because I was busy trying to decide if I thought these were new bosses or not. They're not. But yeah, Hex seems really strong, so this will be fun to play with. Wonderful news. So that concludes my tiny summoning session. I got one of the new heroes. I'm chuffed with that. I'm definitely going to be playing about with Hex now and seeing what I think of him, because he does seem to be really, really good. So one other thing I just spotted is now they've actually added this in. If you want to get some of the new gear pieces, apparently you need to come the first 2 places in the Arrival of Heroes. In the Forgotten Palace it's not there, but in the Arrival of Heroes it is. This is so stinky. Although there is one down here, so there's at least some in the participation rewards. It's not all in winning, but yeah, I don't know, I'm not super fond of this because this is entirely a whaling event, right? I will be updating my tier list. I'm going for a different kind of tier list, which is why I've taken so long with it. I've moved over to using a more detailed tier list, so I'll have rankings for every different piece of content. So, you know, if there's Salazar, he'll be rated, you know, S+ or whatever in Guild Boss, and then D in Airborne Arena, stuff like that. The aim in the new tier list is to be more comprehensive and to cover every kind of content, but because of that I've been taking a lot longer because I want to make sure it's at least somewhat accurate on the first draft. Of course I'm going to iterate over it, but if you're interested in seeing some of the early versions, definitely join my Discord, my Bucket Discord, because I'm kind of sharing it there and seeking advice and feedback from players on there. So yeah, look forward to that at some point in the future. Since it was a pretty short summoning session, I thought we could expand on it and play with Hex a bit and show you what he's like. I have geared him, I have skilled him up almost to max. I've got all the important ones pretty much. I have chucked in my Nocturne's previous gear on him, and I've tried him out in Guild Boss, and the results are better than I had expected. I'll show you that in just a second. First, I'll show you the gear I've gone for. So we have the Elite Fighter set It's pretty decent gear. It's nothing spectacular. The main thing was making sure I got to the crit rate. It was a good set to have. It's not the best gear because it's quite new. I haven't farmed some great pieces, so this one is missing crit damage, which is the reason I went for Elite Fighter. Gear-wise for Hex, I think you can't really go too wrong on the left side. He does actually scale quite well on attack speed up to around 120, maybe 150. After that, you're not really gaining a lot. I don't know how this plays into his ultimate. It's really hard to gauge that, but just by looking at the attack interval changes, it does actually drop quite a lot when you go up to around 150 attack speed. As for gearing, I've gone for Ancient Wrath. I think he would be pretty good going for the Doom on him, or Night Terror, or Hawkeye. I think those are probably his best sets. Besides that, on skill up, somehow I managed to get 3 rolls into the ultimate and then max his Fate Trial without rolling anything into the Hermit, which is really unusual. I've not had that in ever. I don't think I've ever had it where it's rolled into the ultimate that many times without maxing everything else first. So maybe the developers have fixed that, which would be fantastic if they have. But you can see I only need 1 more in Mad Truth before I've maxed that, and then I'm happy to leave him at that. So hopefully that happens for me. As for Artifact, unfortunately I don't have a bunch of artifacts lying around, so he is just sitting in the Shadow Gaze at the moment, though I may actually steal the Never Messenger off Setram, which kind of hints at how well Hex is doing, right? So for the time being, he's got the Shadow Gaze on. So let me just show you how well this guy is doing in Guild Boss. And I'll just auto fight with what I just did, because I haven't used both attacks yet. I'll cancel this one because I don't want to waste the attack. But look at how it works. I'm not doing anything spectacular. I'm not doing anything unique. This is kind of my standard Guild Boss strategy. I've got everyone down. I replaced Nocturne out. It might be better for me to actually replace Arrogance out and to keep Nocturne. I'm going to play around with that because having 5 Infernal attackers might scale up better for me. So I'm going to do some testing there. But as you can see, I am ulting before the Pyros ult just because all of his cards are going to be replaced on Hex with the massive nuke cards. So I don't know how exactly it will scale, how it will play. I'm very curious to try him out a bit more. I think the timings can be improved to maybe try to line up with some of these things, but I don't know. It's really hard to judge that kind of stuff in these. But you can see he's attacking like crazy. He hits so fast. His attack interval goes down to like 1.4 seconds from 2 seconds with just 120 attack speed. So it's really easy to just get him to an astronomical amount of attack speed. So this is a pretty standard run, as you can see. I could definitely be timing things much better with the ultimates, but I really just wanted to get a good feel for how he would do. This wasn't me like, you know, many attempts. This was 1 attempt. This was just the first attack, just to see how he would do roughly in relation to everyone else. Because if all my timings are bad, then, you know, it should be roughly indicative of how good he is as a hero. So I didn't worry about it too much. Coming up to the end here, I don't really want to waste my attack. I tried to squeeze out an ult from Pyros and I didn't have enough time in the end, unfortunately. It takes a bit more than we have left because obviously you have 3 seconds where you're not allowed to use it, which is annoying. Let's cancel it there. You can see 27.3 thousand, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, so now let's have a look at the stats. 36.8 million damage from Hex. So he's doing very good. He's doing really good. My Zilla 2 isn't doing as good because, again, this isn't a great timed run. This was just me to try Hex out, and somehow it was my new record. Even though it was just 1 attempt, not the greatest timing, as you can see, it's got me to 27.7 on my score, with Hex hitting nearly 40 million damage. And this is a Hex without max skill, and he is in kind of just stolen gear from someone else, and he has no awakenings whatsoever, and his awakenings are actually quite strong. So yeah, Hex seems crazy. He seems really powerful. I tried him out in GR3 and he wasn't quite as effective just because of his attack range is kind of standard versus someone like Setram who's got such a good range. He doesn't shine as much. Also, I think Hex really shines when he can focus down a single target. So I think Hex is more of a single target nuker. So yeah, that's my initial impressions of Hex. That's my first initial testing. He seems like he's a great guild boss hero. If you have a Piercer Lord, I think you can absolutely use him very well in the arena airborne content. You could use him very well in Gear Brigade 3. If it's a marksman from a Piercer faction and it's not someone like Setram with loads of attack range or Maul or Nyx, then I think you do need a Piercer Lord to make them shine in the airborne trials because the extra attack range helps a massive amount. So yeah, that's my initial thoughts on Hex. He seems incredibly strong right now. Very, very, very good in Guild Boss. I'm assuming he's going to be very meta and you're going to see him sprouting up in a lot of teams. Anyway, that's my quick first impressions of Hex. Best of luck with your summons, guys. Have a lovely weekend and take care. Bye-bye.